Hello, everybody. Today we're going live from the Women Inspiring Network. And I'm so glad Aarti Bagdi, who's a filmmaker, an award-winning filmmaker, and Rima Das, ma'am, thank you so much for being on our platform. Women Inspiring Network came alive, especially during lockdown in April. In April, we did a webinar which had 70 speakers, and we had a 5 million reach. So we had the CEO of Quint, we had media personalities, we had women entrepreneurs, homemakers, influencers, actors, different field, and it was a tremendous response. In May, we did the Winning the Lockdown series of getting 100 positive voices of women across India. Again, it was like inspirational message, what kept them positive during lockdown. And that has been a great, great response, ma'am. And of course, in June, we have Forging the Filmmaker's Dream. And Aarti Bagdi, who's our WIN ambassador, has put together these series together. Aarti has been my batchmate in Symbiosis, and she herself has won a Filmfare Award, 9 international awards, and an award from Government of India for Film Kamukha. And ma'am, I would really like to thank you on behalf of Women Inspiring Network for joining us today. And now I'll let Aarti Bagdi take over. And of course, then I'll come back to say thank you to you. Thank you, ma'am.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.
Hi, Rima. I'm so glad we are interacting on this amazing social media platform. Hi, everybody. This is Aarti Bagdi. I'm a filmmaker. And I'm going to...
Hi, everyone.
So we have with us a self-taught filmmaker, a celebrated personality, Rima Das, who dons so many hats, from being a screenwriter, director, producer, cinematographer, editor. It's just like she's a one-woman Wonder Woman show. So
I didn't have choice.
Okay, we'll come to that. So, her film Village Rockstars, I think, has set a record in itself. It won some 50 international film festival awards. It was in 80 international film festivals. It won the national award, and also it was India's official entry to the Oscars. And her next film, I mean, she's made others, but I'm talking about these two in the last few years, is Bulbul Can Sing, which also went on to win some 14 international awards and a national award. And she's been named by GQ India as one of the most young, influential people of our country. And also she has been given the Share Her Journey Ambassador title by the Toronto International Film Festival. So we have with us a priceless personality, and we have to make the most of this conversation for so many women and so many people out there who want to make it the way you are. So, hi, Rima.
Hi.
So glad to have you here. And I'm going to jump right in. And I'm going to ask you, so like taking your village, Kalardiya, did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Okay. So Kalardiya to a world stage. It's quite an exhilarating journey you've had. So before we get on to that journey, I want to know what it has been for you personally to be raised, your family. Let's talk about all your journey before it all began.
I grew up in a village, and I come from an academic-oriented family. My father, he was a founder and a teacher of a girls' school, and my mother, we still have a printing press and bookstore. So she took care of. So we can consider her like first business woman in our village and locality. So now you can imagine, like, So I'm coming from a place where films are to be watched, not to be made. And I never imagined that I'm going to make a movie. So, but from my childhood, like I'm always interested in acting. So when I completed my masters, then I told my parents that I just now I wanted to become an actor. But I ended up in Mumbai. Then I was looking for acting jobs. Uh, got opportunity to watch world cinema, and then I just it spontaneously like I just wanted to make films, and I just wanted to tell stories. Yeah, I was mesmerized by world cinema. So I grew up. I grew up. You have watched Village Rockstars. So I grew up like Dino. Um, always like playing, climbing trees. That's how I grew up.
So lovely. And I'm sure because that it was the part of you growing up, that's why when it comes on film, it it is also believable and so genuine, so it's obvious that it's something that you've gone through.
Yeah.
Anyway, so coming to the fact that you got influenced by world cinema, and there was a time when you felt that you wanted to be an actor. So did first of all, I want to ask you, while you were growing up, did you watch any so two questions I have here. Did you watch any of the mainstream Indian cinema or any other cinema? And if yes, then what were you influenced by? And then when you ended up watching world cinema, what was it that actually compelled you that, yeah, I want to be a storyteller?
Yeah, I grew up watching Hindi movies. So till
Anything that
my
you remember that you really liked?
I like many. I cannot say something in particular, but I loved. Honestly, I can say I enjoyed all the movies. Because that time at home also my parents didn't, especially my mother didn't allow to watch movies because you need to study. And then when I was in college, I was in hostel. So that time also sometimes we used to go out and watch movies in theater. So we just I am like kind of I just wanted to watch any movies.
Lovely.
And yeah, there was no such knowledge. And also there I didn't have any friend circle, like we didn't like kind of discuss movies. So I used to act in plays in my school and college, and I was always interested in acting. So movies just, yeah, just like that. But when I was in Mumbai, like when I was looking for acting job during the time, for me, I didn't think to become a filmmaker because for me it's big, it's a huge setup, huge business also. So it didn't came to my mind. But when it didn't come to my mind, but when I started watching films, mostly in the initial days, I watched many Iranian films
Hmm.
by Kiarostami, Majid Majidi, and Satyajit Ray's Pachar Pachali. Then I discovered, okay, like you don't require a huge setup to make movies, and you can make it in a most like simple way. That is what I discovered, and that's how uh, I made a short film in my village, and it got selected in few festivals, and it boosted my morals, and that's how my journey began. Yeah, and yes, and later on, I watched a lot of films, and we are fortunate that we are living in this digital age.
True.
So I read online articles, I watched tutorial videos, and especially watching films, I think played a large part in forming my cinematic ideas and concepts. And and my I'm like I love all types of movies, but I love, I think, unstructured and lyrical films. And so I'm mostly inspired by Andre Tarkovsky, then Federico Fellini, Terrence Malick, Wonka Wai, Purusha. I think they stimulate my creative thinking. And
Wonderful. I'm sure all of your viewers, please try and catch all these names that she has mentioned and try and catch that kind of cinema. I'm sure it's going to open up something inside you the way it did for Rima as well. So, coming
yeah,
to
there are many filmmakers, wonderful filmmakers, masters and contemporary filmmakers. I think, yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah.
inspired me. I now, like, I am a movie fan. Like, I watch. Yes.
Wonderful. So, Rima, tell me, did you have to negotiate? Typically for a boy or a girl, it's very difficult to get into this kind of a career choice. It's such unstructured, and like there is no safety net as such. So, did you have to negotiate with your parents or your family or whatever, or you just let it happen and they let it go? Like, how did it happen for you? Was it just so that people know that what it takes to be in it for the long haul?
It's been a long and tough journey, I must say. And with me, it was my love for cinema. And many a times we we cannot speak out what we believe. And through art and cinema, I think I think for me it was a now it is a platform for me to create my own world. Like telling through my stories. So my family, uh, they didn't have any clue. They didn't understand what I'm doing. So there was no major like encouragement, but neither there was like resistance. There was quite support, and I'm thankful to them. Although, like, uh, they are worried, they were worried. Now they are not. They are very happy now. But
Obviously.
and and, uh, and filmmaking is for me. It's just not a job for me. It's my life. I love cinema.
Yeah.
And when I started, I did the one right thing. I think I bought my own camera. I bought a camera, it's Canon 5D Mark II. I think it was like a weapon for me. It helped me a lot. So my first film, Man with the Binoculars, that's my first feature film. And I didn't enjoy the process. I had a small crew, but maybe as a first time filmmaker, I could see doubt in people's eyes. And also I was under confidence. So uh, so it was also, there was budget constraints, so time. Then then I realized after I finished my first film, then I realized that, and I was questioning myself, like why I want to make film, and I was very sure because when I was acting, I I was not giving my 100%. I didn't work hard, but when I started making movies, I I knew that I'm giving my best and I'm really working hard. So that's how when for my first feature film, after shooting after shoot, like I was editing. Initially, I was editing in my village, and during that time only I met this amazing children who changed my life. They were performing in a local gathering, local Bihu function, and with this fake instruments. And I was going through personal and professional like difficulties. I and also uh, somehow, I was not happy. But when I saw these children, then I was mesmerized by them, and I because they're all daily workers children, and the way they were performing and celebrating life, it just changed something in me. Then I started talking to them, and I had enough time to hang around with them. Then I started asking them many questions, their hobbies, and they are like, I wanted, I wanted to be a singer, scientist, pilot, you know. It, it's then I realized that how children they can dream, and also after many years, because I left home during my college days, and so it was the first, like after many years, like I was staying home alone, and I also started connecting to the roots. And being in Mumbai, you know how Mumbai life is. Then it is something was changing from inside. And also being with nature, I think I realized how nature is important for us. And this children and nature changed my life, and that's how I think I decided to do everything alone, because I wanted to enjoy the process. I wanted my solitude, and I wanted to create something by my own. And I knew that it's not that I couldn't hire someone, because I didn't think that I could make a feature film all by myself. So, but I wanted to learn. I wanted to discover. It has been an exploratory journey for me, you know. And and I knew that it will take time. So this process took like 3 years, and so my cousin Malika and myself and these amazing children who believed in me for 3 years, they believed, because I knew that I'm making movie, I'm making a film. They, they didn't know anything about film, but their consistency, their power of innocence, I think that always helped me, and it just worked.
No, no, actually, yeah, you're so right. The power of innocence, and I think there are two, three lovely things that you said. That you realize you're not putting your heart in acting, and you're putting your entire being in filmmaking, and that's when you realize that this is the job for you, where you don't realize that it is a job. And I think
Yes.
that's a wonderful realization, and the fact that when you interacted with the children and nature is, I think a certain sense of awakening happened in you. I think that's
Yes, that's true. And also, I believe that it needs to have reality check, because I realized that I always wanted to act, and I also acted in my first feature film. That time I realized that I was really good, and there are so many hard actors than me, and I should focus on direction.
Hmm.
That I took, and I'm happy.
Yeah. And truly, you've explored so much that you've been actually, the fact that you explored so much that you have actually shot, and each frame is a painting. Like I've been sketching for the last this entire lockdown. I've taken this task. So when I see your film, I feel like, okay, I should sketch this frame. I should sketch this frame. Like you have actually obviously mastered the art to make each frame look like a painting. That's wonderful. And that's truly
I'm so happy. I think my instinct worked for me always.
yeah.
And it's a special gift, I think, because it also surprises me, like from where it is. It's came to me, and yes, I need to
Yeah.
figure, and yeah, it's a gift.
Yeah, complete art coming through your cinema. Like this, such, like really, each frame is so artistic. I'm so thrilled to be watching your films. Anyway, so yeah, and I'm requesting all our viewers on Inox and BW, please catch her films, Bulbul Can Sing and Village Rockstars on Netflix. Right? It's on Netflix. So, anyway, so. Yeah, so the next thing I want to ask you is, okay, so you set up your own production house there, right? And you made your first feature film. But it takes so much courage to actually do that, right? To actually make sure that you can manage to do all that within your village. Of course, you were teaching yourself and all that. Then there came the point of Village Rockstars, which actually catapulted you to world fame. So I want the viewers to know, I'm sure you've told this 50 times over in all your 50 festival awards that you won, but this is a completely new audience. So I really want you to share your entire journey of Village Rockstars. Like, how did it begin? And
I always had that innocent dream that they should go to big festivals. So it was always there. And my first film premiered at Tallinn Black Nights. Then it was at Mumbai Film Festival. But it didn't do well the way I expected. Then I started making village youngsters, and I I promised myself that I'm not going to stop, till the time I feel like, okay, enough now, So I kept doing it for 3 years, and then while during the time of my first film, I was not aware about work in progress. So who are watching it, aspiring filmmakers, work in progress lab, they are very important for filmmakers, like independent filmmakers like us. Then Village Rockstars, I sent it to NFDC, so they selected, and then it was at Tallinn Black Nights Work in Progress. It was at half. Then from half, it was Hong Kong goes to part of Hong Kong goes to Cannes. So uh, not coming from film school, for me it was difficult because I had a lonely journey. You go to school, then you have a friend circle and teachers to guide you. That, for me, it was difficult, but it is possible. So through this work in progress lab, I think Village Officers started getting visibility, and I was also at Canton Market to understand. sales and how festival works. So it was helpful. And it was not easy for me to interact with people because I'm a bit introvert. So it was not easy. But somehow it was my conscious decision to turn to producer. Because
Hmm.
I felt like this, I spoke to filmmakers and I just I thought that to survive in this industry, it's important also to be a producer. So I'm the producer of all my films, and uh, and then yeah, it was in the beginning. I remember people also telling me negative things because they used to say there are many films, like 7, 8,000 films, 10, 12,000 films. People it's like they these big festivals they get a huge amount of films. It is not possible. It's many negative things. But let me tell you that it's nothing like that. You know,
Hmm.
it works. Your work speaks a lot, and for me, it's although it was a tough journey, uh, if you really want something, then you will find a way against all odds, and that is what happened to me.
Nice.
And it was my day when Toronto International Film Festival they selected like village doctors. After that, it just came and it's like it's a fairy tale journey. And it was in like and so many festivals. I think we traveled to more than 80 film festivals, and in Mumbai Film Festivals, we were like awarded best film and other two awards. Then I was in LA attending this Los Angeles Indian Film Festivals, and then I got the news that the national award for
Oh
best
wow,
film,
that's
and
nice.
yeah, it was great. So four national awards, and we three sisters. My Hanita, who played Munu, she's my cousin. Mallika, she's my cousin. Who got award for location sound, and they both sisters are my cousins. So we three sisters got national award. So
Too
it was
good.
very special. It was very special,
So
and
lovely.
and yeah, and Oscar nomination after that. So I think whatever we have, we what love more than we imagine. Village Rockstars family, um, and I'm so happy. I think we get recognition. I really wanted to recognize the touch heart. It should like that is what I imagined. People love the way Village Rockstars touch people people's heart. I think that's my achievement, and also breaking that stereotype because a lot of young people they keep messaging me, they keeps calling me. That inspires me a lot, and also they keep saying that when they find difficulties, they just remember village rockstars and they remember me. I think that's that's the biggest gift and love. And I feel like it's village rockstars is not my dream anymore.
Hmm.
It is our achievement. It's like so. It is possible.
Hmm.
Possible, and there are they in Assam and even outside also they now they say that they are making movies just like me.
How
So
nice. What a
yeah,
precedent.
that inspires me a lot.
Yeah.
Last year in Mami, his name is Nitin Anil, and he made a film Magic Thing. So
Hmm.
inspired by Rockstars, and I read an article, and he dedicated a plate also in my name, and he said that he inspired by village Rockstars. So amazing! Like I really feel good. I,
That,
yes,
that,
I really
that
feel
gave
good.
me goosebumps. The fact that actually another filmmaker gave you a plate in his film. That is so cool.
It's, I cry. I cry.
Yeah.
Sometimes I read messages the way they keep posting uh, Insta stories, tweeting and messaging me. I cry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. When your labor of love is loved by all, it's like the best thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think so.
yeah. So tell me something. So in this entire journey, there must have been a few moments when you wanted to give it up, right? Like, just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Or, that moment where you felt like you failed completely. Can you throw some light so that, people who are actually going through it actually get over it and
It not really with me because I I just it is very important to find out what you want to do and what you love to do. That's very important. So when I started during my acting career, that feeling it was not.
ah,
But when I started making movies, sometimes because it was really tough, it was not easy. We worked in very limited resources in like real conditions, natural lights. So and filmmaking is it is not an easy art. It's not easy. It's like so many departments I was handling. So sometimes, yeah, it was difficult, but always my inner voice always encouraged me. And I think if you love something you really love, you know, then you just
yeah.
can do it.
Yeah, you just find, I think you're right. You just find the resilience to go through it all. Like, that you're going to reach where you want to reach. Wonderful. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So you really need to find out what you
yeah,
what
which aspect you love? Yeah. So tell me, as a woman, you must have been one of the first few who in Assam who's possibly making a film, right? If I'm
sorry.
not like in in your village, you must have been the first person who's actually making a film. Forget anybody making a film. Yeah. So did you face did you face gender issues over there in terms of like as a woman you were possibly commanding everybody or whatever, was there any
Not
gender
gender,
barrier
just
that you had to overcome?
thought that I'm mad. She's mad and spoiling our children.
Oh God.
They're like, she's from a good family. Why? What
Why
is
is she doing
she doing? Like, that is what I got. Yeah.
Oh God.
Gossip, and the children, they didn't tell me on my face, but children, they used to come and tell me, okay, they are saying that.
Nice. Oh God. You must have had to develop a thick skin for
Yeah,
all of that.
later on.
Nice, nice. Good, nice. So, so coming on to so what was the first award you won was Toronto International Film Festival? Was that the first award that you won? Or was there something else you won for one of your short films also, right? Before?
No. Like Village Rockstars, you are talking about Village Rockstars?
No, I'm just telling the award. What was the first award that you received? Was it for the short film or was it for Village Rockstars?
Oh, Village Rockstars.
So nice. So how did it feel like when you won your first award at Toronto International Film Festival?
No, Toronto, like we didn't get an award. So we got award in Mumbai Film Festival.
Okay, in Mumbai.
And it was amazing because in Toronto, I was alone. I couldn't see my husband. But in Mumbai, we're all together.
I know.
My mother was there. She is the co-producer of the film. All my children were there. And Malika was there, and so it is amazing experience. And my mother is, when film was selected at Toronto International Festival, then it was at San Sebastian and many other festivals. But for my mom, it's like when you are going to receive awards, award is important.
True, the award is more like gratification for the family.
क्या तुम यहाँ जा रही है वहाँ जा रही है कुछ award नहीं मिल रहा है, you're not winning anything. Yeah, for her winning is important. मतलब मुझे अपने गांव में भी एक award मिल जाता तो वो ज्यादा खुश होती.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Mothers will be mothers.
Yeah, before that, for Nanuda Binoculars, we got award from, there is a Prague Cine Award in Assam. So we got that awards and I think 3 other awards. And that time I was really happy. She was more happy that my film was in Mumbai Film Festival and Tallinn. She was happy that the film got award.
Oh, so sweet.
So,
nice,
yeah,
nice. I'm glad your mom is happy.
My mother is happy. Yeah. And मैं Bombay में, if I keep my awards in Mumbai, I need to bring home.
So lovely. Nice. So what is the next film you're planning, Rima? I believe you were about to start. That's what you mentioned in our call, that you were about to start. So what was that about? And is it?
Start the end of March. So it's an untitled project and I'm working with Tilotoma Shom. And
Nice.
she's an amazing actress and I just love her. So, but now due to pandemic, it's so uncertain.
Yeah.
So now I'm developing few other ideas and also I'm planning Village Rockstars sequel.
Oh, nice! That is so cool. और बच्चों को बिगाड़ोगी.
अभी नहीं बोलेंगे. Yes.
अभी तो सब आएंगे, प्लीज कास्ट कर दो हमारे बच्चों को.
now everyone they want to act in village also women they come to me and like I want a role in your film.
How
It's
nice.
like yeah, it's beautiful. And
Yeah.
you have watched Bulbul Singh, right?
Yes, I have. I have.
You can see more people.
Yes.
You
Getting
can
involved. Yeah.
more pictures. Yeah, now they're happy. They are very.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
It's a kind of a change. Like I think almost all of them acted in my film. Something or other, yeah. I did last year. I did a project, short film anthology for Bricks,
Hmm.
and also many of them they acted. So now, yeah, it's different now. It's totally different. I'm so happy.
Nice. Nice. Lovely. So, you know, what do you feel? What do you look for when if you're going to hire a young woman or a young person in your team? What is that one quality that you look for when you will possibly hire? I know you're a one-person show, but still, I'm sure there's lots of people wanting to work with you.
Yeah. Their passion, honesty, and transparency. I think, and it uh, it doesn't matter if they are if they don't have right skill, but if they have like curiosity to learn, I think that's what matters.
Nice. Hmm. Good core values.
Honesty is important.
So I want to ask you, the fact that you have so many skill sets, right? So obviously you were personally motivated to learn each of these skill sets. You put yourself through it, right? So there must have been some, what is that philosophy that is driving you to do all this, to be continuously exploratory, to be so what is that? How does that emerge?
Sometimes you know your self worth, and you just want to do. And
Hmm.
earlier I said earlier that my love for cinema, love, that passion to create something, and not coming from school also helped me to see films as a whole.
Hmm.
I look at it as a painting, so I don't differentiate. Okay, it's different departments. Although I don't consider, still I don't consider myself as a cinematographer, but but I still love to do. I think it is just love.
Ah,
Keep me.
that is so interesting.
And because of that, when it didn't, my first film didn't do well the way I expected. We went ahead with Village Rockstars, and Village Rockstars did really well. But I went ahead with Bulbul Can Sing. So I like to keep moving. I think it's just love for cinema. I just want to tell stories. So success and failures, it just sometimes doesn't matter.
So everybody love is the answer. I'm telling you, this person over here, this magician over here, is doing it purely out of the love, and then she's creating such stuff that we all love. So obviously, it's translating. So please find whatever you want with love. Yeah.
You should the process. I think that's very important. You
Yeah,
should
yeah.
work hard, but enjoy the process. And yeah, and now people are approaching me to collaborate other studios and producers, but I remind myself, it's, you should always be careful.
Hmm.
I just don't myself, and but there are people now collaborating who understand my process, and you should always say no. To what is life, and it's very personal and organic my process, and yeah, it's really, I'm really happy that there are people who understand and they want to understand and collaborate. That's nice. Yeah.
Wonderful. So that there's a strong author in you. You know, there's that is also, I think, what I feel, that the whole driving force that is there is quite strong. So tell me something that's wonderful advice that you've given also to all our viewers out here and aspiring filmmakers. What you just said. Now, this is a question that is like one of my favorite questions. Is what is that favorite poem or song that you have that you seek solace in? Come on, you're such a musical person. Your titles, Village Rockstar, Bulbul can sing. Everything is like music and lyric. So I think we deserve something out from you.
रुक जाना नहीं.
Oh, wonderful. तू कभी हार के.
रुक जाना नहीं तू कभी हार के. Yeah. And
Beautiful.
finally, now after all this success, I think how you evolve as a person, that's more important. How you evolve as a human being, and also your craft, like your craft and artistry, it also evolves with you. I think that's more important. Otherwise, yeah, all meaningless, I think.
Wonderful. So, last bit of advice that you would want to give to young filmmakers, even people who are aspiring in whatever career they are, you know, that when you fail, whatever, you know. So, I know the biggest answer that you said is love, but just one advice that keeps them going in whatever they're doing.
I think the biggest step toward unlocking your potential is overcoming fear and self doubt. You should believe in yourself, and also it is important that you have friends and people who can give you genuine feedback.
Hmm.
Uh, it's also important because sometimes it really works. It really
Hmm.
works. But you should always be true to your vision and know your self worth and keep doing it, keep moving. That's it, I think.
Hmm. Keep moving.
And love, 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 love.
Nice, nice. I already love you.
It's all about you,
Yeah.
who you are. Whatever you're doing, it's all about you. How you look around, how you look at life.
Hmm.
Observe life, observe, be with nature. It's so important. I think that's it.
Thank you so much,
Miracle
Rima.
happens. Miracle happens. Just believe in yourself.
I agree. I agree.
Always say how many times? Hello.
I think I had like goosebumps twice over when you spoke. I think I'm so glad we did this. Sudeep, please take over.
Yes, thank you so much, Rima, for joining us. And it was really, really an inspiring series. And today we've actually come to an end of the series. But thank you so much, Rima, for joining us.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, so we'll end this now. Thank you,
Yeah.
everybody
So
on
I'll just
INOX.
wind up the
Thank you,
session.
thank you everyone.
Yes. Okay. We can leave the conversation.
Take care and stay safe. Take
You
care.
too.
Stay safe. Bye.
Bye.
So, Aarti,
Yeah.
thank you for being a Win ambassador. And we've come to an end of the series of Forging Filmmaker's Dream. You tell us a little bit about your journey, and you won the Filmfare Award. So, please throw some light on that.
Okay. So, Stuti, first of all, thank you so much to you and Shweta both to come to me and tell me, let's do this Win Career thing on filmmaking. So, I was glad that when you said that, and then I was like, I have to choose, like, it will be, these are the people I want to get to know, and these are the people I guess the world will also want to get to know in terms of, what it takes, what it makes them to be them. So that's why these names came. And yeah, so coming to your question about winning the film fair. The thing was, I began as an assistant director to mentors Suraj Barjatia and Mr. Subhash Ghai, and I learned so much from them. Like, I'm so thankful and grateful that I understood mainstream cinema and what exactly mainstream cinema is through them. So my first 5-6 years was that entire learning curve of understanding filmmaking. It's like a world in itself. There's so many things, like you really need to understand in those 5-6 years. Are you up to such large dreams, like such scale, such putting yourself in there? It's like a new world every time you're creating. Then of course there were many ups and downs that came through that, but after that entire work as an assistant director, those 6-7 years after that, I got to learn many aspects of filmmaking. I got to understand production, editing, direction, many things. And then I started independently making short films. I made a couple of documentaries. One was a 20-minute and one was a feature-length documentary. So like that, and along the way, one of the short films that I made was called Khamakha for a production house, Hamara Movie. So a few of my short films with Hamara Movie was doing very well. So Vinay and Preeti, my producers, said that, come, let's make a film with a little more scale. Like, let's see. And I said, yeah, sure. So this was a script that was available between me and my writers, Meghna and Vipula and Amit, my music director. I shared this. And immediately my producers went like, yes, we should make this because it's quite a relevant subject. Because actually, Khamakha speaks about the judgment that you have for each other on the languages you speak. So that went on. I ended up casting Harshvardhan Rane and Manjari Fadnas in it, and they are lovely actors, and they came on board, and we all did this as a passion project. And it went on to get released sometime in I think September, and for Hindi Divas, because we were talking about Hindi and English and all that in the film, apart from the love story that it was. And it was received so well. Again, that's what, like Rima said, when you put your heart out as a passion project, and the kind of love that film got was amazing. So yeah, and then to top it off, that year Filmfare announced a short film category, and ended up sending it for that, and then it won.
So I feel so proud of you, Aarti.
Thank you so much.
Since my college days.
Exactly.
And tell me, so, for our aspiring viewers, especially the ones sitting in tier 2, tier 3, what sort of skills do you need to be a filmmaker? And how easy or difficult it was? Like, I know you come from a conservative family. I mean, so do I. But, so just please do throw some light on that, like the skills, how supportive your family's been.
Right. So yeah, I do come from a conservative Marwadi joint family. We were like 18 people living together. So it was a time when of course, there were times when nobody was encouraging of the fact that I've chosen films as my career. But luckily, because fortunately, I started out with Rajshri Productions, where the family values are very close to our family values. So it became easier for them to, let me start on that. And then similarly, it happened with Mukta Arts also. Then, of course, they became comfortable. But what I realized was skill sets that I think that there needs to be a lot of patience. One needs to have, that has to be a genetic code, to have patience, that if this is for the love of filmmaking, love of storytelling, that you want to enter this field, then only enter. Do not enter for anything else, because that is only going to drive you through. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to sustain yourself, because it's such a long journey. Because I myself took nearly 10, 12 years to actually find my voice and tell. There were times when I found it and lost it, So you go through that entire process of, now you have confidence, now you don't. So you have to be prepared for that patience that is needed, that sometime you will have it, sometime you won't. So that is one of the, I think, key genetic codes that you need to have. And apart from that, of course, you have to love cinema, you have to love stories, you have to love performances, you have to love human interactions. You're going to be dealing with 200 people in a day. You have to be a people's person, you know? So that these are very important skill sets that you need to have. You need to be well read. You need to be able to hold a conversation with your actors. You need to be able to sell your soul to the actors, in terms of not selling your soul that way, but selling what you believe in, making people, so many other people believe in what you believe in. So those things take a lot out of you. So you have to be prepared for all that.
So, just for Win, as you know, Win actually took shape during April, I've been thinking of doing a platform for women since 2011, but the lockdown sort of pushed me into doing this because we were locked in.
Yeah, you've unlocked many minds through this lockdown.
Yes. And it's been inspiring for me personally. It's kept me positive, my young team, and the PR business, which I've been doing since I've been 23, since and this was something really interesting which we did. As I mentioned earlier, we had 70 speakers for a webinar which had 5 million viewers, and we had everybody from entrepreneurs to movie makers to filmmakers to Bollywood to actresses, media personalities, all on our platform. The Winning the Lockdown message has been really good. And now, of course, the film series which we are doing. And then we have many more series coming up. We are going to be doing one on sustainability, mental health. These are some of the series which are coming. In fact, because, this was something which kept me inspired, hearing people share their stories, especially when it was during the webinar or the Winning the Lockdown, or, other live chat sessions, which we've done with mommy influencers to yoga wellness experts, what really kept them positive. So I want you to leave our viewers with a winning message, something which kept you inspired, something which kept you motivated during this lockdown, and what is it that they should really, like an inspirational message is what I want for you, for our viewers.
So I would say that I made myself very receptive through this phase. Like, something as simple as when you guys approached me that let's do the series through this lockdown, I was immediately up for it. Like, because, so things like that some things that, so there was another thing that I did through the lockdown was I took 100 sketch pact. So I tried to explore things about myself, which I've never done. I've never sketched. So like, I thought, okay, let me do something like this, because, like people like us in Mumbai, we don't have, like, our house help is not available. No, nobody's allowed to come. So you're like working in the house throughout the day. The only time that you get for yourself, then you want to make sure that, there has to be some outlet for creative people like us. So apart from the normal writing procedure that happens, you need to find something that, something you've done, So I think it's important to be productive. Once you are doing something, when you're being productive, like you have been productive throughout the lockdown, right? So I think it's very important that you karam karo, which like which everybody says that, even our texts say it. So I think it's very important to keep doing things, keep learning, keep doing, keep exploring. And you will not have time. You will suddenly emerge a winner. Don't expect that it'll happen now. It'll happen sometime later. But you will add.
I thought about this. It's all about resetting ourselves. Of course, businesses all over have been impacted. But when I look at it, actually, it's impacted for everybody. So how we reset ourselves and re-look at things is what is really important. But thank you so much, Aarti, for joining us, because I do know that, because when I hear your story and I've heard everybody's story in the last 2.5 months, that has personally kept me inspired and motivated. But thank you so much for putting these series together. It's been a wonderful experience. And Win, on behalf of Win, I would really like to thank you. Thank you so much. And we, of course, like to thank our partners for this particular series, which is Inox Leisure, OBT Carpet, which has actually done a charity auction, for raising funds for the artisans and weavers. So please do log on for the auction. Business World, which has been the business partner. Process Communication, which has been the PR agency and the social media agency. And of course, our Win ambassador, Aarti Bagdi. Thank you so much, Aarti, and hope to do some more great work together in future.
Yes, it's been a pleasure and only pleasure, and so much love for all this. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.